She goes to the bar and hopes she runs into a rich man. I walked up to a glass case bar. There was a rainbow of blinking lights within it that pulsed with the beat of the music. I stooped to peek at myself in the mirror behind the bar, and my hair was almost perfect, even for a home perm. I have to do it myself these days. A sister don't have $200 or $300 to be hanging out for a wash and blow dry. My eyes lingered over the countless bottles of liquor that were stacked at the bar when a mean chiseled bartender sported a mohawk haircut and a black ribbed t-shirt that clung to him like a second skin approach. What would you have, sweetheart? I wanted to say I have the most expensive drink your tattoo hand can pour in a glass. But all I had in my purse was enough money to get me back to the hotel. I said, tapping my beautifully manicured fingertip to my chin as I stalled for time. No way should I have to buy my own drink. A couple of seconds, I felt a presence to myself. What are you drinking, beautiful? I didn't even turn to see what the man looked like. It doesn't matter. He uttered the magic words. I flashed my Broadway smile and said, Cognac Louis XIV, and afterward, the entire night flowed. Men stepped up, bought drinks, shot their best game as though they were auditioning for a high-paying job. But I turned them away like they had lied on their resumes. I guess I still have something left. At least my beauty hasn't deserted me. When I left the cast party for my quick change of clothes, my intentions were to find a tall, handsome man with one pocket full of paper, the other full of dick. A brother who could leave my legs trembling after he climbed off of me, but wouldn't hesitate to drop $500 on a nice dinner before he got up the nerve to ask me for some. Get the book so you can read it.
I returned to New York on a sun-splashed spring day. I couldn't remember feeling so happy to be anywhere. The taxi let me off in front of my townhouse, and I noticed the for sale sign was missing. Did my real estate have some good news and hadn't been able to reach me? If that was the case, then the first thing I was going to do was draw a bubble bath and soak for hours. I hoped whoever had bought my house didn't need to move in right away, because Marcus was coming to New York, and I really wanted to spend some time with him in my townhome. I entered my home expecting it to feel somewhat stuffy from being closed up, but it smelled as fresh as just rinsed fruit. Maybe the real estate agent had cleaned the place for prospective buyers. I dropped my suitcases by the door and walked over to the sofa table to look through the mail I brought in. I was surprised when there were only a few pieces. I walked into the kitchen and noticed a champagne glass and coffee cup in the sink. Had I left those there? I was going to look in the refrigerator for a bottle of water, but I figured I needed to go to the grocery store and go shopping first. I only hoped I had some of my Carol's Daughter bubble bath and body lotion under the sink, because I didn't feel like trekking to the west side to my favorite perfume store. I went back to the door to get my suitcases when I suddenly heard movement in the next room. Before I could turn around, I heard a loud, theatrical voice say, "Welcome home, Yancy." Like the clown in the horror movies, my mother stuck her face into the doorway. "Hey, but you scared the hell out of me. How did you get in?" "Is that any way to greet your mother? How did you get in?" I demanded to know. Not only that, but what the hell was she doing here? I wouldn't have put it past the woman to have dug a toe and gotten out of prison. I used my key, sweetheart. I was praying all the way here that you hadn't changed the lock. Remember who paid the down payment on this villa? I always had a key. What are you doing out of jail, and why didn't you tell me? Oh, they let me out early. I don't know if it was I didn't know if it was for good behavior or for good sex. The word wasn't sex, I just changed that. Wrong people in the room.
He always signed, whenever he sent me a card, he always signed, "Your number one son." I hope you all are not looking for a long I'm not a big speaker like he is. But anyway, I really thank you all for your support, and if anyone would like for me to sign their books, I would be glad. And I also have a backup. One of his sisters, and I'm going to let her tell you more about him before I start crying.
Hello, everybody. I'm not a big speaker either, but I am Lynn Harris' sister, and to me, he's not Lynn, he's just Lynn. I'm next to the baby. And I'm going to tell y'all about where we grew up. Everybody say how generously Lynn is. He really is. He always been that way. When we was young kids, my mama and my daddy divorced, so Lynn became the man of the house. And he had 3 sisters, and every Christmas, every holiday, he always had to get us something for Christmas. And you know, me being a little young girl, I had the Barbie dolls and girly things. He always bought it. And I got another younger sister and an older sister. Lynn was our daddy. He became our daddy when our daddy left. You know, my mother and dad divorced. Lynn was 11 years old. I know when I was. That's all right. Okay. At the age of 11, and I was about 6 years old, he
Okay, all right. Okay. Take your time.
I said I wasn't going to do that.
That's all right. Okay.
But, okay. As a little girl, my big brother, he bought me a little green sweater. It was really pretty. For the first turtleneck sweater I ever had. And I call it a Scottish skirt. It's a skirt with it had green in it, and a little red, it had red lines in it, the white lines in it. I wasn't, you know what they call a kilt? Yeah. The little, they bought me the skirt and green stocking.